Okay, now that we know some things about kites, let's use those diagonals of a kite to help us find more information. So here we have quadrilateral PQRS. So PQRS is a quadrilateral, and it has diagonals QS and PR. And we're asked to find the measure of angle 1, the measure of angle 2, and the measure of angle 3. All right, so first let's find the measure of angle 1. If we look at our picture, we're talking about diagonals of a kite. So because this is a kite, we know that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So that means that right where angle 1 is, we're going to have a right angle. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 90 degrees. And we knew that because the diagonals are perpendicular. All right, so we've got angle 1. Next, let's find the measure of angle 2. So if we look at the measure of angle 2, we can see that it's part of, we can focus on this triangle right here. We can use triangle PQT to help us get that angle. So if we look at triangle PQT, right here, we already know a couple of things. We know that we have this 35-degree angle right here, and then because our diagonals are perpendicular, we also know that we have a right angle. So if we take the sum of angles in a triangle, which is 180 degrees, let's subtract out the 35 degrees and subtract out the 90 degrees. What we'll be left with is angle 2. And when we do that math, we get 55. So that means that the measure of angle 2 is equal to 55 degrees. All right, last thing we need for this example, or this part A, is the measure of angle 3. So we go to our picture, we find where angle 3 is right here, and we see a couple things. It is part of a triangle like this. It's also part of a bigger triangle. This bigger triangle has 1, 2 congruent sides, so that makes triangle PQR isosceles. That's going to be the part that helped us out on this. When you have isosceles triangles, what we call the base angles will be congruent. So this angle right here is going to be congruent to angle 3. Since we know that this is a 35-degree angle, that means angle 3 must be 35 degrees. All right, so we have one more example just to keep practicing that a little bit. Let's see. If the measure of angle TSR is equal to 15 degrees, find some other angle measures. So let's find angle TSR. So we go from T, we go to S, we go to R. The vertex is S, so it's this angle right here. Let's go ahead and label that angle 15 degrees. So another thing to know about a kite is these angles at this vertex and this vertex are bisected because of this perpendicular segments right here, these perpendicular bisectors. So if that's 15 degrees, that makes this 15 degrees as well. So what is the measure of angle PSR? So PSR is this big angle. We can see it's both of those 15-degree angles, so we'll just take the 15 degrees plus the other 15 degrees to get a 30-degree angle for angle PSR. Now we need angle SRT, so let's find that angle. We go from S to R to T. So we're looking at this angle right here. Maybe I'll mark it. So we're trying to find this angle. All right, so what do we know? It is part of, I think using this triangle will help us out. Your diagonals of a kite are perpendicular, so we have a right angle. We have a 15-degree angle, and we're trying to find this missing angle right there. So we can take 180 degrees, the angle measures of the triangle, subtract out the 90, and subtract out the 15 degrees, and that's going to get us a 75-degree angle for the measure of angle SRT. All right, let's find the measure of angle SPT. Well, SPT is essentially the same thing. You know, you've got the same triangle with a 15 degree, you've got a 90 degree, so that also, if we did the math, we'd get 75 degrees on that one as well.